How's it going, everyone? I am Meteorologist Kylie Bearse with you on this Monday afternoon after a pretty busy weekend. We had a ton of snow up in the mountains, and then, of course, we had incredibly gusty winds both in the mountains and the Front Range, and then we had a couple of those fires that got started yesterday. So I do want to start there with our wind conditions because we're not out of the woods just yet for firefighters. And in just a couple of minutes, I'll try and answer as many questions as you have. But I wanted to start by taking a look at our windy conditions up in the mountains. 65-mile-per-hour gusts over Loveland. I've seen them near 70 miles per hour over Berthoud Pass as well. And then for the Front Range, it hasn't been as strong. And actually looking out my apartment here in Denver, it is nearly calm. I'm seeing just a little bit of a breeze, but we could see some gusts up near 15 to 20 miles per hour. I'm seeing them even stronger down near Monument Hill. So this will continue throughout the rest of this afternoon. You can see as we go throughout the day, we'll continue to see some relatively gusty conditions, not necessarily all the time. They'll kind of be a little bit more of those one-off winds that come on through. Still breezy though in the foothills and up in the high country. And then finally overnight, we start to get a little bit of a break from these windy conditions, and going into tomorrow, we're talking more like 5 to 10 miles per hour. So that's great news for firefighters. We just really need to focus on getting through these next couple of hours, because here's a look. We've got that red flag warning in effect once again today until 5 o'clock this afternoon. Gusts up to around 40 miles per hour, humidity down into the teens at times. And this does include our southern Front Range foothills and then the Springs on south. That's where we're seeing our gustiest conditions for today. And not only that, that's where it really matches up with just how low this humidity is as I'm looking at your relative humidity throughout the Front Range. And so we are seeing Castle Rock down to about 21%. You can see Evergreen and Bailey down to 10 and 13%, whereas we have much more humidity when we're looking off to the north and east. And that's actually where we have some cloud cover. And so no surprise there. So there's a whole lot of different things happening across the state. Meanwhile, Loveland ski area looking good. We've got just a few clouds in the sky. Same thing for downtown Denver, mostly clear conditions there. And you can see on HD Doppler that we are dealing with some cloud cover over that northeastern corner of the state. We saw a couple of flurries sneak out of it this morning. We could see that continue throughout the day, and it's also going to have a big impact on your temperatures as well. So we've got temperatures all across the board here for the Front Range, and that's just because of that cloud cover. Depending on where you are, you could be near 50 degrees like down toward Castle Rock, or down into the low teens like out toward Fort Morgan. 13 degrees there, so huge temperature swing when you're driving throughout the Front Range. Here in downtown Denver, we're at about 26 degrees, and Longmont at 28 right now. So your highs, again, just completely going to depend on if you've got that cloud cover or not. Overnight, temperatures drop down to about 21 degrees, so it should be a relatively normal night for mid-February. Tomorrow, it's going to be seasonal as well. The high of 45 in Denver, much less wind, which is really nice to see, and a whole lot of sunshine too. Now, as we're looking at the mountains though, our next storm system moves in late tonight and then early tomorrow, and we've got snow throughout our northern mountains and then even into southwestern Colorado by late Tuesday evening. And then this does look like it mostly wraps up by early Wednesday with another push of moisture as we get into the back half of the week. But we'll just focus on that for right now. Here's a look at one forecast model for snow for our northern mountains. Look at that. Steamboat could pick up another foot of snow. They already got 15 inches this weekend. They've got another foot on the way, possibly. And then you can see down toward Aspen, 6 inches possible there, and southwestern Colorado, more like 2 to 4 inches. So we'll keep an eye on it for you. 7-day forecast shows that we do have temperatures staying in the 40s for Tuesday and Wednesday. By Thursday, the Front Range could see a chance for snow, mainly later Thursday. Same thing for late Friday into early Saturday. But perhaps the biggest headline will be the cold. Look at how chilly it gets, especially those overnight lows down into the single digits for Thursday and Friday. And then, for Friday and Saturday morning, and highs those days will only be in the mid-20s. And then it stays pretty chilly throughout the rest of the weekend and into early next week as well. So we've got a busy end of the week and really a busy start to it too. Let me hop on over to my Facebook page and see if you guys have any questions that I can answer. Sorry, it just takes me a second to get everything switched over. All right. Diane is saying hello and thank you. You are so welcome, and hi to you, Diane. Susan's asking, what will the weather be like in Lakewood? I think you mean this afternoon. We're going to be seeing temperatures in Lakewood, and really it's probably the wind that you're most concerned about. In Lakewood, it's going to be about that 15 to 20 miles per hour range, so it is certainly going to be still on the breezy side at times. Right now, I'm seeing a high of about 46, and again, those gusts could be right around 20 to maybe 30 miles per hour, which is where we know one of those fires is burning. Diane says, Burr, I'm assuming you're talking about the end of the work week. Yes, it is going to get really chilly as we get into later on this week. All right, let me see if I can pull up more. It's only showing me a couple at a time. All right, what was with the snow in Boulder this morning? We just had a few flurries that were sneaking out of those clouds, so it's not all that uncommon to get that. Just kind of decorative flurries is what I call them. All right, Seth says good afternoon. Good afternoon to you as well. All right. We are talking, Lauren says, thank you for the update. You are so welcome. Always happy to hop on here and chat with you guys, which is really nice. Diane says you had the high wind in Parker. I was in Parker yesterday too. And yeah, it was incredibly gusty. Definitely one of those days where I was going to go on a hike and decided, nope, that's too windy for me. So we, just from a personal standpoint, I don't like it. And then of course, from a fire standpoint, it's really, really difficult. How will Loveland be this week? Well, go ahead, and if we just want to pull up, I'm seeing a lot of people asking about the week ahead. Let's go ahead and pull up our 7-day forecast. Once again, Jerry, if you don't mind, we're going to put that up so you guys have an idea of what we're looking at. And of course, Loveland is a little bit different. This is mainly specifically looking at Denver, but it should give you a pretty good idea of the trends here. We're going to stay mild through the next couple of days, and then we've got a chance for snow on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday with a big cool down as we're looking toward the weekend and end of this week. So that's kind of our general trend for our forecast here over the next week or so. You are so welcome, Susan. All right. All right, we're asking about Echo Mountain this weekend. Very cold. Pretty much everyone is going to be absolutely frigid this weekend. Gina's asking how much snow is expected Thursday night into Friday morning. So for me, that's a little bit too far out. I was starting to actually share some numbers with you guys because people tend to cling on to those numbers and get really excited about it. And it's just too early to say with any sort of accuracy. I will say that right now it's not looking all that major, but I can actually walk you through. I think I put up a couple of forecast models. And I will show you guys this, but you can't take it for word because this is not the official forecast because that is still 5 days out. And as we've seen recently, our forecasts for snow that far out have a very good chance of changing as we get a little bit closer. So here is one forecast model that I'm going to show you because we can't really even reach that far out. Okay, so again, this is not an official forecast. This is one forecast model, and this is showing that we could see some decent snow up in the mountains, but it's not looking like it's going to be all that impressive for most of the Front Range, although maybe we could see a little bit more action up near Boulder and Longmont and Fort Collins. But then I hop on over to another one. How far out will my, oh yeah, this one can't even go that far. So that kind of gives you a good idea of what some of our models go out 10 days, some only go out 2-3 days. Let's see. I've only got this one out to Thursday. So yeah, that's just kind of how we take a look at things and then we get an idea. Holly's planning some play at the park on Friday. That will be really fun. Andrea missed what is the Broomfield temperature for this afternoon. Let me see if I had Broomfield specifically. Oops. Sorry, I've got like 2 computers here that I'm going between. And then I've got a million different graphics. The temperatures this afternoon, just keep in mind, are going to be funky depending on if you've got cloud cover or not. But I've got Broomfield at 45 degrees for this afternoon. Yep, the weekend is looking so cold. Andrea, I think you'll be good to have your needlework group outside today. I think 45, as long as it's not too windy, should be pretty good. All right, looks like I answered most everyone's questions. So I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your Monday. I will see you back here again tomorrow. Meanwhile, Kathy will be back a little bit later on this evening. She'll be watching those strong winds, and then hopefully as the week goes on, we'll have a better idea about that snow as we get into later on. So have a great rest of your week, everyone.